Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about what union is on the twin flame journey. I know that it gets a lot of attention, the term union, the term reunion and all those sort of things on the twin flame journey, but what I wanted to talk about is what union actually is, and you definitely will hear other good coaches talking about what union is. Or inner union, unity consciousness, it's also called. There's oneness, there's a lot of different terms for it. But I feel like when we're in the early stages of the twin flame journey, we just have this misconception that union means union with the twin flame or with your twin flame or your divine masculine. I know that really tripped me up in the early stages of the journey. When I heard union, I just thought it meant union with the divine masculine. And I'm not saying that can't happen. That's definitely can be part of the journey. But first and foremost, it's union with yourself. It's union with you and you. You know, it's that inner union. It's that oneness. It's unity consciousness. You as a divine feminine need to reach that unity consciousness, before the physical union with the twin flame or the divine masculine can come into any sort of harmonious relationship in the 3D. So what I want to talk about is that, so the consciousness, the union that we're talking about is not necessarily the union with the divine masculine, and that might be a little bit triggering. I know in the early stages all that you kind of want is that union with the divine masculine. I completely understand that. It's really hard to get the focus off that union with the divine masculine, but that's exactly where we need to come back to bring ourselves back and remind ourselves that it's not about the union with the divine masculine, it's about the union with the self. And it's about coming back into the self. It's about the self-love. It's about the self-worth. It's about really concentrating on your own journey and your own ascension, because this is your spiritual awakening. This is your path to walk, and this is, it can be very hard at times to realize that, because we are so distracted all the time by these thoughts and this obsessiveness over the divine masculine. What we really need to do is get a handle on these thoughts. It's about mind mastery. The whole journey is about mind mastery. Once you can master your mind, break down all these subconscious patterns and woundings and traumas and beliefs, once we do transmute all of those lower density frequencies and we come up into the higher frequencies, the more that you shift, eventually you will reach that unity consciousness level and the oneness frequency. That is when the potential for union with the twin flame will be on the table, because you're now in union with self. So the union with the divine masculine is now on the table. Not straight away. It'll be like anything, any sort of thing that comes into the 3D. It's a time delay thing, because we are in the 3D. It doesn't happen instantaneously, and the divine masculine needs to go through their own processes as well, but every divine masculine will be different in that regard too. So it's not something that you can compare to someone else's journey if you know another twin flame. But when you do reach, I'll just say as well, when you do reach that oneness and unity frequency, you're really not going to care if the divine masculine is coming back. I know that's a hard one to wrap your head around, because you just feel like, you know, if you're in the depths of it, you just feel like there is no way that I can let go of this person or ever feel like that towards this person. But trust me, once you get to that unity consciousness state and frequency, everything is different. Everything changes. It is a game changer. The whole thing will shift. The whole thing will flip on its head. It is quite amazing what happens when you do reach that unity consciousness frequency. So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring across in this video, is that the union that everyone is talking about is not necessarily, or not first and foremost, the union with the divine masculine, and that's not what we can focus on when we're going through the early and mid sort of stages, and then when you reach the end stages anyway, you're not going to be worried about that as well. So the key to this is to shift that focus back onto yourself, and shifting through all these things, and shifting through the lower density frequencies that are coming up for you to be transmuted, really looking at them, really working through them, feeling them, bringing them up to the surface. We're not pushing anything down on this journey, where it's not about it. This journey is not about pushing anything down. We've been doing that our whole lives. This journey is about seeing what we need to see, releasing what we need to release, so we can move forward on the path, reach that, you know, high frequency, high vibration. And then once you do, the ball is in your court. Remember as well, when you do come into unity consciousness, you may feel differently about being with your twin flame. You may not want to be with that person anymore. You might, but you might not. There's a lot of feminines that reach the unity frequency or union within themselves, and they decide that they don't actually want to be with the divine masculine anymore. It's not to say that you don't have that deep love for them. It's not to say that you don't like them. It's not to say that you hate them. The love for them shifts. The love for them is unconditional love. It's not a fear-based love anymore. It's an unconditional love. So it's, I love you and I see you, but I can't meet you where you're at anymore. And I have I have nothing against you. I have no sort of, you're not holding any grudges against them. There's no bad energy between you, because it is you. So, and because you've come into union with yourself, that, that whole thing is not playing out anymore. Because you've come into unity with yourself, you are in such a good energy with yourself, and then that obviously is going to mirror back to you anyway. So the way it plays out after you're in a union is going to be different for everyone. You're going to have, feelings about that is going to be really individual for each person. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit to understand a little bit about unity or union with the divine masculine, and that can definitely still be on the table if that's something that you choose once you get through, all the dark night of the soul and everything like that. So don't take this as, oh, there's no union with the divine masculine. It's not that at all. But I think the union term really gets misconstrued a lot on the journey, and it's not actually about union with the divine masculine. First and foremost, it's union and that Hieros Gamos within yourself, the alchemical marriage of the masculine and feminine energies within the self. And trust me, you want this to happen. You really, really, really want this to happen, because you're going to feel the best you've felt in your whole life. So this is something that you really want to, you know, dig deep and work on those things within yourself. If you do need any help with getting through the journey, I'm at a stage now where I'm looking at opening up some coaching sessions and things like that. I'm looking at doing a twin flame course, so I am happy to take on anyone that does want some extra help getting through the journey. It is really, really hard during the, you know, early to mid stages, and this can last for years. People keep looping and looping. It's really hard, and I don't, you know, I want to help people get through those really difficult stages, because I know firsthand how hard that really is. So yeah, reach out if you need any help, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.